for the 2 billion users that come onto our platform every day, there's no responsibility more important than making sure that when they're looking for news, looking for information to protect themselves, their families, that they get high quality, highly credible information. And so a lot of what we've done in Ukraine, throughout Europe, throughout the world, is make sure that when you open up that YouTube app, you're getting highly credible, authoritative, high-quality information. And that's through our policies on our platform about what videos remain up, what come down. It's about how our recommendation algorithms work. It's about how we raise up authoritative content on our platform. And so Ukrainian citizens, when they access YouTube today, right on the home feed, they get a breaking news app. When they search on YouTube, they get a top news shelf. And those shelves are filled with videos from authoritative outlets, like the BBC, like national news outlets from that part of, not just within Ukraine, but countries surrounding it as well. And that news shelf on the home feed has been viewed over 40 million times by Ukrainian citizens looking for information about what's happening in their cities and worlds. And that is a paramount importance of us, which is raising up kind of authoritative content. On the flip side, what gets a lot of coverage, of course, is how do we deal with the flip side of that, which is misinformation. And there, it hasn't been just about what we've been doing since February 24th. It's been through years and years of work around establishing principles and frameworks that allow us to deal with misinformation on the platform. Since the war started, we have removed something on the order of 60,000 videos, 8,000 channels that violate our community guidelines. But we've also taken unprecedented steps like blocking state-sponsored media, channels that belong to RT, Sputnik, and other media outlets like that, on the order of hundreds of channels blocked all over the world. And so that's the way that we combat the flip side of kind of authoritative news, which is misinformation. And the last point that I'll say is that all of this is happening in the midst of the fact, as Matt alluded to earlier, which is YouTube is one of the major platforms that's still up and running in Russia.
Right.
And so it's a place where people can go to get Western news outlets, credible news about the war if you're a Russian citizen today.
That is just an incredible thing, really. I mean, so you have a real responsibility because you're being watched by the very people who are in the heart of a conflict that they may not know anything else about.
Yeah, I mean, it is, it's a responsibility that we certainly do not take lightly. The types of channels that are consumed on YouTube around news, as I said, are channels like BBC, CNN, Western news outlets, but also Russian creators that are looking to have discussions about the war, as open discussions as possible, to debate the war, to talk about the consequences of the war. Former journalists that were within the country having channels and presence on our platform. And it's a responsibility we don't take lightly because we know that we're one of the very few places where if you're a Russian citizen, you can get real, accurate, credible information about the tragedy in Ukraine.